I make no expertise, no bones about any of this, any quarterback. There's just a million stuff out there, you know.
Right.
I just know our high school since 2005, about every one of our guys have got a, you know, scholarship. Every one of those guys we've identified has been the same quarterback that we've identified in the 7th grade. We haven't moved a guy, you know, that was a receiver, and you know that you know, we've all those guys. We've had a guy at Rice, a guy at La Tech. I mean, no Georgia or Alabama guys. Two guys, a guy at Memphis, 2 guys at Southern Miss. Anyway, and two guys and 2 quarterbacks from Navy. Got a guy there. So that is one thing we feel like we do try to spend a lot of time at 7th grade finding their guys, and those have been the same guys that have been the senior quarterbacks. So I'll just start here. Hey, I'm going to show you. This is our play. This is it. This is our playbook right here. This is everything. Just thought I'd show you that is everything. And
I'm kind of curious about that too. When you say now,
this is everything, and all this drop back stuff. We don't do that.
Right.
It's in the playbook, but we don't do that. So
yeah, you were talking about one at Michigan, and go back to it. I remember you saying that.
That's on the install. I'm gonna run it out of the true tight end set. We're actually gonna put a tight end in anyway.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask you about. I'm looking at this and I'm seeing it. What I'm messing around with now is I'm gonna mess around with a little bit with pistol, but yeah, I see down there at the bottom is 3x1 bunch. You know, so I'm just essentially I'm gonna be messing around with a little bit of bunch formations myself.
Yeah, it's such a Joe Burrow thing, and you see it a bunch in the pros. We're gonna do that too. So. But this is, I mean, each column just dropped down. I mean, it doesn't, it's just each column is standalone. Those are all the formations. We don't do all that with the 7th grade, but at some point, you know, by the time they get to 8th grade, we do pretty much all of that. The strong is an H-back, you know.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you about. Yeah,
for H-back, but we have not done a true tight end, but we're going to add that. In the last couple of years, we've done some empty stuff, you know. Try to spread out. Particularly this past year, we had that little quarterback that can run pretty good. So
here they call it at least my high school that leads into it. When they do the H-back, which they didn't really do much of it. Actually, I don't think they did any of it. But they call that hero and halo. You know, hero, you know, the H-back's on the right, halo, the H-back's on the left. That's what they call that.
We just call it strong, and I can't even know what the high school calls it. Second column, that's where we live. That's 85 to 90% of what we do. You know, that is basically our passing offense. That is the quick game. The stop, the derivative, stop and go, the curl flat, which, you know, Salas is big into that. He runs it a little differently. Number 3, the slant hitch, which is a stick sort of play. Jason and I laugh at each other. You know, we don't do the stick. We do it out of 3x1, but we don't. See, it's not listed, and so I mean, you don't see the stick is not listed here. We don't do that. We call it a slant hitch. There's another thing, another show. We could go into that if you want to. It is sort of a stick route. The hide route is the Y corner. We call it the hide route. That's our offense. And then all the bubbles, the horizontal game, the bubbles, the nail screen, the key screen. 8th grade, we do read some of that. You know, play action, we put that in for 8th grade, you know, just play action, and then those are the runs. The old inside read, the quarterback outside read. The flip is RGT. We call it flip. The dart, we tried to do that. That was our big thing for last year, you know, where we lead and ran an RPO off that and couldn't get that to work.
Right.
And the old R sweep and the R flare and the jet sweep. So the last 3 are, you know, the sweeps. R sweep, the jet sweep, and the R flare. But here's the quarterback stuff. Let's start here. And this will help some of the videos become clear. from day one, you'll hear me talk about the tight circle. It's an old video. I think it's called Shaw Eagle. YouTube, type in Shaw Eagle football. It's a guy. It's like a 10 or 12-year-old video. He talks about the tight circle. We've adopted that. I mean, it's an old video. The guy in his drills is Jim Miller from the Pittsburgh Steelers. That tells you how long ago it was. And those are the points of the tight circle. You know, squeeze the ball below your chin. You know, chin to ear. That's our biggest thing. We don't dip down. You know, there are guys in the 7th grade that can throw the ball, a heck of the ball. You know, they'll bring it to their chest, but instead of bringing it to the ear, you know, they'll T-bow it, bring it down. We cut them. We move those guys to another position. Baseball guys, you know, will bring it by the ear, and then they'll elongate the throw, if that makes sense. You know, it's not quick. We eliminate those guys. So those are sort of the general things. Weight slightly on the back foot. These are some of the absolute. Our big saying in middle school football for all position: feet under shoulders, shoulders over feet. Doesn't matter if it's quarterbacks, and that applies to defensive guys, applies to a lineman. Feet under shoulders, shoulders over feet. So in other words, we get guys, our quarterbacks typically are baseball pitchers, and they want to step before they throw. Our feet are not under our shoulders. So that takes a lot of time, you know, as we move, you know, as long as our feet and shoulders, if we move, obviously, they're up under our feet, but we cannot ever be in a situation where our feet and shoulders are not directly up underneath us. Those are some of the things. And the
Mike,
last
I don't mean to cut you. I don't mean to cut you off, Mike. Do you see the other guy waiting to come on in? Didn't mean to cut you off. He said he was waiting.
Is he in?
He said he was waiting.
He's in.
Okay, there he is. Okay, good.
Okay.
All right, there he is. Okay.
Very good.
All right, there we go.
A lot of guys.
Sorry about all that confusion, man.
He's back. He's back.
Yeah, there he is. Make sure.
And the way we teach the throwing, basically, we say, hey, throw a fastball, thumb down, and you're going to follow through across your body. Pretend like there's an imaginary dollar bill stuck up in your opposites of your right-handed. Pretend like there's a dollar bill in your left pocket. You're going to dip down, pick up the dollar bill, and show it to me. That's how you're going to follow through. So, you know, we try to, you know, be a couple of target things, but we try not to overcoach this. Every day we work on quarterback stuff. The second column is our warm-ups. Another thing, when we throw our quarterback drills, we don't throw anything over 10 yards. I mean, we're not long tossing or anything. And I'll get what I've got. There's the last column is what I've got to show you. I've got a few basic clips, and that's just what we call it. They'll probably become, you know, you'll know what they are when you see them.
Right.
Any question? Anybody's got any questions about any of that?
I love it. I'm actually going to be stealing some of this stuff myself.
I'll send you this if you want me to, and you're free to send it out to anybody. We'll start with 2 clips. We call it the sidewinder drill. It's a foot drill. So we do a lot of, like right now, it's inside. We're doing a bunch of footwork. You know, again, go back to shoulders under feet, you know, shoulders over feet, feet under shoulders. You know, for us, you can't throw accurately, and you can't be a quarterback. You can't get out quick if your feet up under the shoulder. Okay. So. All right, so here's just a little clip. This is our 8th grade guy that we're really high on. We call it the sidewinder drill. So he's gonna go back. He's gonna basically go back 5, up 10, back 5, up 10, sideways, and then he's gonna shadow throw. I got that from Tom Herman, who's got a bunch of stuff when he was at Ohio State. You know, offensive coordinator there from years ago on YouTube. You do Tom Herman Ohio State. There's a bunch of drills there. Of course, and they got to do indoor stuff. You know, they can't really go outside there. And he was a big proponent of shadow throwing, which means, you know, I'm going to mimic the throw and not throw. So here we go. Feet. All right, so his feet. So let's go back. Is his feet under shoulders? No. See, we want to keep.
Wow.
See, we actually there is too little. We want to always take a little bit of steps and stay balanced. So this really isn't good.
Right.
And I get on this guy later, and we really like for the ball to be a little higher. Later in the video, I see that. So this was the first time we've done that.
Together. Stay wide, stay a little wider, stay balanced. There we go. That's better. See how low the ball is? You gotta get the ball higher too. So have a throw. Okay.
Okay. All right. This is our little 7th grader from yesterday. Oh, no, same guy. Actually, same guy. Sorry, same guy from the other side. So he's going to the other side. See, this is that other one was the first time a couple of weeks ago. This was yesterday with the 8th grader, and you see it's a lot better.
Now we got.
See where the feet stay wide, stay wider. He's a little bit more balanced, and the ball is a lot higher.
Keep the ball high. Keep the ball high. Feet up on the shoulders.
We do this before school on Fridays.
Boom.
And the shadow throw. That's what we call the sidewinder drill. Any questions, comments? Want to say anything again? Things you don't like?
No, I'm just jealous with the amount of time you get. You know?
For a young quarterback, we tell our quarterbacks, if you're off balance, but your back foot is planted and your mechanics are good, but there's a guy coming to you and you see an open window to throw it, you should be able to make a 10, 12-yard pass if the back foot is planted. So that's why we work on that. So this is their little 7th grader. And this is my backup 7th grader. So you see, he's not really fluid. He does keep the ball up high really good. See, and he's moving. Now, one of the bad things that's not good here is like when he takes right there is not good. That's not good for us because you go back to our number 1 mantra: feet under shoulders, shoulders over feet. See, he's not balanced there. So so for us, that's a big thing. So we're really working on that. So we say don't take, and again, our shadow throw. All right, so let's look at the 8th grader who we think he's going to be really good. And let's look at his feet. See, after a year of doing this, let's see if he's any better. See, he's a little bit more balanced. He's a little bit quicker. He takes a step, but it's soon. And we always say for quarterbacks, and we do another drill, 1 foot is on the ground at all times. So right there, he's got 1 foot up. 1 foot's on the ground. We tell our quarterbacks both feet, again, cannot be in the air to throw accurately. So that's good. 1 foot's on the ground. So when he plants that foot, the other foot comes up. Okay, so that is good, and he's a little bit more balanced.
There we go.
You said he's an 8th grader, Mike?
He's 8th grader. He's a little.
How big is he? He looks almost like a sophomore.
He's not very big.
Yeah,
No, he's not very big, but he's going to be big time. He's really good.
He looks the part, that's for sure.
He's like I said, he's not very big. He's 5'8" maybe. But we think but you can tell he's a young looking kid. We think he's going to be big time. Remember we went over the video with the 7th grade. That was him that threw for 300 yards in 7th grade, was 21 out of 24. This is that guy. He's really good. All right. Questions about that drill? We just call that, you move it in the pocket drill. This came straight from the Art Briles video of a million years ago where he actually got in trouble. I got it. So do Art Baylor quarterbacks. Do Art Baylor Nike drill. It's the video that got him in trouble because the first of that video, he talks about what kind of guys we get at Baylor. We recruit a little different kind of guy now. And he goes into that. So that's what got him into trouble was at this clinic where he goes over quarterback play. Doesn't matter what you think of Art Briles. He's a guru. He had on like polyester green coaching pants that were from 20 years old on this video, but he's a guru. So we call this the beta drill. The first drill, I think, is he's going to walk to me. So we start the drill. See, there's a guy behind him. He's going to throw. So he's walking to me, and then on the second command, he turns and throws. So again, we're going to look and see. We don't want him to hop in the air. We want 1 foot up and 1 foot down. And Art Briles spends a lot of time in his video on this drill talking about actually for quarterbacks to throw accurately always has to be an open stance after they throw. Their front foot has to be slightly behind or slightly, you know, if they're right-handed, it's going to be to the left. It's going to be a little open stance. All right, so he's going to do 2 throws here.
Throw.
See if we can slow it down here. So see, he plants his back foot. So 1 foot's up, 1 foot's down. So that's good. Is his foot open or is it closed? It could be actually open a little bit more, couldn't it?
Yeah.
It could be open. The other thing is that our big emphasis when we're throw is the ball, and we're going to go. That's going to be the next thing I show you.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you want? I mean, is he supposed to be that high up on it, or?
Yes. Okay. Go back. Okay. Let's go back to. Good question. All right. So let's go back to the tight circle. The tight circle for us, ball under chin. That's great. Look how high that is. We say chin to the ear. Okay. So, Coach, how close to the ear? As close as you can get. So, Jay, if you ask me, well, Coach, how close you want it? Jason, I want you to get it as close to the ear as is comfortable for you. Closer the better. But, Jason, whatever's comfortable for you, that's going to be my answer. But I'm going to say, when you get it by your ear, I want the ball pointing backwards 180 degrees. That's a big emphasis for us. So watch his throw. Okay, let's slow it down. And he has a really quick release. That's one of the reasons why I'm high on him. See, and that's the other thing on the tight circle. Okay, let's go back and watch it real time. Watch his release. This is 8th grader now. Watch his release. I say that's pretty fast.
Yeah, that acceleration process is nice.
That's one of the reasons why we work on our quarterbacks chin to ear. I mean, there's no dipping. There's no. I mean, you learn to get rid of it quick. You learn
right.
You develop the arm strength, a quick release. Okay. What does he not do good here? His ball is pointing. It's hard to say. It's pointing to the side, isn't it? It's pointing out that way. It's not pointing at me, is it? I want that pointing to me. Okay. In fact, I sent this to him earlier when I was getting with this with Jason, because I haven't posted it to Just Play yet. I sent it to him this afternoon when I was putting this together for Jason. So that's not good. But look at the quickness and look at the velocity.
A little quicker.
See, I want it quicker. Okay. We do that 3 times. So we're gonna get another rep here where the throws it. We go back and we can get one more rep, and I cut and then we'll cut off. So we do that 3 throws when we do that. Okay. Questions? Good, bad, ugly?
How many steps is he taking before he throws again?
Doesn't matter. It can be. It's on me. It's
okay.
Right.
So he's just walking forward. You're walking forward until I say. Sometimes he takes 1 step and I throw it.
Right.
Sometimes he'll take 5 yards. It is on the coach. The coach, you walk until the coach says throw or clap or whistle or whatever the command is.
So he's looking at you, or you're just giving him a command, or you just kind of, is it a voice command, or it doesn't matter?
I think I said throw. So I'm standing behind him. He's facing me. So I got behind him, so I could film it. So I'm going go, and then I'm saying throw.
Go. Throw.
See?
Gotcha. Right.
So again,
I see.
He's not dipping the ball down. So the good is he's not dipping the ball down. He's going straight up and throwing. He's not elongating. He's coming right. I mean, he's coming right there and throw it so quick I can't get it. The other thing, the other bad thing is he on his back foot? How good is he on his back foot? Good or bad? What do y'all think?
Tough to see with that bar right there.
Right.
Well, one, he's so quick. It's tough to see. One to the good. He's so quick. It's tough to see. But I would say for purposes, we tell our guys, stomp your fucking foot in the ground. I mean, that's what we tell our guys, stomp your back foot in the ground. He hadn't planned. I mean, he hadn't done that, you know. But look at him, right? He's really good balanced. He's really good balanced, but he could also be open. That front foot could be slightly behind, you know.
Like, how far over do you want that front foot? But if the way he's facing 12 o'clock,
I think that's where you overcoach. Now, to me, that's where you overcoach. You just say, "Hey, I want when you get through on your follow through, I want your foot slightly open." To me, I think this is where you get in trouble for him to think too much. I don't think you overcoach that.
I agree with you. But we tell ours, act like you're throwing a rock in the lake, and just throw the ball. You know, just get rid of it.
Yeah, I agree. That's good. I kind of like that. I might steal it. I've got from side. So the first progression is you're just going to, my command, turn and throw, and I didn't get his feet here. And then the second Baylor drill is where they walk to me. So this is the first. When we do Baylor drills, they know they're going to do 2 sets of drills. When we go, hey guys, Baylor. This is the first thing he's going to do.
Throw.
He's going to throw. We'll just run through it, and then we'll stop.
Throw.
All right, so let's go back. And it's pretty quick. All right, so chin to the ear. You remember I was getting on him earlier about holding it low. So here he's holding it really high. He's turning, and it is by the ear. I mean, he's not coming down. Now he's got the ball. Now look at the ball. Now the ball is where we want it. It might be not quite as close to the ear as we would like, but he does have the ball pointing 100, directly behind him. And you can almost hear it come out of his hands. He's got some zip on it.
Let's do one more. Throw.
Not quite as good there. Nope, there you go. He's just got a quick release. Again, I don't have the 8th grader. I couldn't find my video. Every time we work on quarterback drills, we may not do all these drills. I got a million more, but that took 10 seconds for each guy. I mean, you can do, if you got 2 or 3 quarterbacks, you can do all 3 of those guys together at the same time, or you can do one after the other and not take 30 seconds or a minute to do that. We always do these 2 drills every time we do quarterback work. I mean, I think for us, they just work for us. Here's our point of emphasis for right now. Go back to the ball again, pointing backwards. So I've told them this is how we're going to start the drill with the ball backwards. I want you to count 1,001, 1,002, and we want you to throw the ball. Okay, so that's that. So what you're looking at is the drill that I won't run, and this is perfect. He's got his hand out a little bit. We hadn't talked about that. We could spend a whole another thing talking about the off hand. I'm old school. I'm kind of Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off guy. Okay, that's how we explain it. I ask all of them, have y'all seen the Karate Kid? If not, if I say go watch Karate Kid, wax on, wax off, that's what you're doing on the offhand. Again, we don't try to overcoach that. Probably bad on my part. You don't want them thinking about it. That's all we're doing, just wax on, wax off. So for the drill, we're trying to get it up. He's holding it cocked, 1,001, 1,002 throwing. So to get used to him not cupping that ball, having the ball pointing behind us.
More weight on the back foot.
And this is my little 7th grade quarterback.
I like the front. I like the front.
Okay. All right. Here's my 8th grader. Here's my 8th grade guy. What's good there, after a year, Okay, so when he goes back, or he's balanced here. So what's the one? It's the along with the ball. What's the first thing you notice here? Along with the ball going back, what do you notice about the back foot?
The weight.
The weight. He does. He does. So after you're working with him, you know, now as soon as he gets in the throwing position on the side, you can see the weight goes on the back foot slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he's holding it 1,001, 1,002. Throw.
There we go.
Again, that's a crisp release, but that's what we're trying to teach. The whole 7th grade year is a crisp release.
Right.
This is one of our go-to drills we do. This is with the 7th grader. He's going to go see the cones laid out. He's going to go back and forth on my command. I've got 2 guys behind me that are going to catch the ball. We're going to do 3. I don't think we get the 3, but you see the center has got 3 balls there. We're going to go one after the other. He's going to go back and forth, shuffle his feet, feet under shoulders, shoulders over feet. I'm going to give him a command. He's going to throw to my right or left. That's what you're looking at. Now, you might go, what in the hell are you doing? We tell our quarterbacks, again, you can see his weight is on his back foot slightly. Again, that goes with what we've said. Hey, if you're in the pocket and you see an opening, you see it. You might not be, quite in the classic quarterback form, but if you see a window and a guy's coming on you in your back foot, we want you to make that throw. So that is, he's doing exactly, you might go, whoa, coach, that is terrible. He's doing exactly for the purpose of the drill what we want him to do right now. Okay. We call that bag drill because typically I have, big half round bags there that they go over. So the coaching emphasis is quick release, back foot, but the main purpose of the drill is, again, we want let's look at his feet. See, we're taking little baby steps. See, is his feet under his shoulders most all the time? Actually, pretty good. He's not taking big steps. He's taking small steps. So at any time there, could he theoretically throw if he had to?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that's the purpose of the drill. He's not taking a big old step, where he's off balance. So we're saying, if you can take little bitty steps like that, keep the ball high. He's doing a great job as 7th grade getting the ball high. That's bad. I'm giving him the command to go forward. Now his feet up are not under his shoulders there, but otherwise he gets back and balance. He's not bad. I mean that's not bad for 7th grade. All right, let's see. I think, and I just got one of these because I knew, and we also do this. This is one of our go-to drills. Again, this is 7th grader. We call this the line drill. We go across the field. If we're outside, we go all the way across from one sideline to the other. We start on the number. The other guy's going to start on the end line, and we're going to go puppet on a string all the way down the field. I'm sure y'all have seen this before, haven't you?
Throw.
This is a little 7th grader.
Throw.
All right, let's see. So, not good. His feet up and not under shoulders there. He's taking too big of steps.
Right.
A little better there. A lot better there.
Yeah.
A lot better. Now, and look now on the throwing. Okay. Now we've got something. This little 7th grader. Back foot is planted. Yes.
Right.
What about his front foot? Is it even, closed, or open?
It looks open.
Open a little bit. It's open. Our brow says, hey, you can throw it accurately every time if it's slightly open. And again, he's doing our tight shoulder. He's bringing the ball up. He had it under his chin right there. See, he had it under his chin. He doesn't dip down. If I can move it. So he goes to the chin, straight up, balls back, behind. I think that's pretty good. It ain't bad. It ain't chopped liver. But those are the things that we're really looking for in our drills. Feet under shoulders. We're looking for slightly open. We want weight on the back foot, and we want that tight circle, chin to ear, ball back. And we can talk again. We can talk about the open, the offhand, and the follow through. Another whole hour. But anyway, these are some of our go-to little bitty drills, and you can see those. Don't take very long. I've got bunches of little drills. I just try to do little bitty quick stuff. If I've got 5 or 10 minutes before practice, after practice, during the period, before school, this was all done before school. So we try to do little bitty quick stuff. And I didn't even show the circle drill and some of those other drills that are really good that we also used. So anyway, those are some of our quarterback drills. That is sort of the philosophy. That is our Oxford crash course for developing quarterbacks, as terrible as it is.
Oh, pretty good. I like it.
That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all.
I like it. Mike, I got a question for you. With those drills, is that like not a hard question? I haven't painted you with the scenario yet. Those drills you just showed now, those are also, you're using those in season as well, or is that kind of like the spring stuff you're doing now, kind of intro drills? And then I guess my question would be, what more like in season drill quarterback? I don't need you to go into detail. I'm just kind of curious.
Every day, pretty much every day. When we go, we don't really stretch anymore. We go straight to bags and agilities for like 8 minutes every day. Quarterbacks don't go to bags and agilities. They come with me. This is their bags and agilities. Everybody else, every position, every other position goes to their 6 to 8 minute bags and agilities. This is what we do in bags and agilities. I bet you every one of those drills there I could do in 8 minutes. So all I need is 6 to 8 minutes every day. But if you do those every day, and tomorrow we're probably going to do the Baylor drill every day, but we may not do all those drills. We'll do the circle drill. We'll do the rapid fire drill. I've got about 8 things. We'll substitute and do 3 or 4 of those little drills every day. And, again, they don't take very long. You can get a bunch of reps in, we'll warm up about 3 minutes, and then we'll go into these drills for 5 minutes. That's all I need. That answer your question?
Yeah.
So we do that during our pre-practice warm-up period. We don't really stretch anymore. We actually stretch at the end of practice. So when we first go out there, we go to bags and agilities. Linebackers everybody except quarterbacks, they wait till I get out there, and then we do this. We do quarterback drills. Want 3 or 4 easy to learn. Salas gave me the idea a couple weeks ago. I was looking at some of his stuff, and he ran through some plays that he called low risk, high reward. And he says, plays that are complementary plays that you have that you really don't spend any time with. They're really simple to teach. Doesn't take any time out of your practice. You don't have to stop what you're doing to do them. And he says, and then they actually work pretty good for you. And then after the season, you might go, geez, we should have done this a lot more. They were really effective. But they were low risk, high reward plays. So I'm looking for some high tempo, low risk, high reward plays that complement. So that's one of the reasons I showed you everything that we do. Start up by showing you our playbook. Everything that we would possibly ever do, I showed you. And I'm looking for some complementary, easy, quick things that we could maybe install, see if we liked in the spring. That would be really quick. I could just holler out one word. Everybody know what to do. We'd run that sucker in, 8 seconds. And, it would complement what we would do. So, I always like to ask Jason, hey, give me some ideas. So.
Well, personally for me, it would probably be, you were talking about 3 or 4 plays. It would probably be 4 plays for me. And it would be 4 of my plays that I felt most confident. them running. You know, and it would be, for me, it would be a run, a screen, maybe a quick game, and maybe a downfield throw. Just so I had those 4 type of plays if I needed a quick, call, as opposed to them all looking at me to get the signal. I could just yell out that one word and off we go. And it would be to one side. So for me, like, for example, it would be, run would be maybe our zone. The screen would maybe be our quick screen out of trips, because that was and maybe our quick game would be a stick. We were in stick so well, and then if we need that downfield threat, we'd do 4 verts. So I'd come up with 4 words, and we would always run to the same side. Just so it's not.
Well, here's what I've come. Well, it's funny. Me and you actually think a lot alike. Okay, so these were 3 of the 4. The first is I wanted to put a simple RPO. We had the dart, didn't work. So I tried to think of something really, really simple. And I, again, saw something from Coach Salas that I thought, you know what? I think I can do this. The second one is a medium pass. And the third one is the mesh. I'm going to try the mesh. So anyway, so here we go. Well, nothing's there. Let me go back. See, oh, well, there it was. It was just slow.
I love taking those, guys.
Let's try it again.
You were saying mesh, or on the screen it said cross, or is that,
Yeah, well,
is that what
we're going to call it cross because that's how I'm going to signal it, crossing my front of my body. Just mesh.
Gotcha.
I'll be just a mesh. All right. I kind of stole this. RPO. And the other part of the idea came from watching Jason's GT stuff. So we're going to GT this. It's really an outside zone. It's what that is. The quarterback's going to fake an outside zone, quarterback read. We're also kind of famous, as Jason's always kidding me about the R flare.
That's your baby.
We're going to sideways. We're going to 2-step sideways, and then we're going to take off running like it's an R flare. We're going to block. We're going to GT block it. Our RPO is reading the end. If the end tries to run, which he probably will, as much as we R flare, if he takes off, then the quarterback is going to shuffle 2 steps, and he's going to do one or the other. That's what we're going to tell him. You shuffle to the right 2 steps, and you either throw it to the R, or you tuck it, and you get what you can get.
Are you
I know it's simple. It's almost too simple, isn't it? It's almost just pure. It's almost terribly simple. So this was a combination of something I saw from Coach Salas, and I was watching Jason's GT clips the other day, and I was jealous of how good he ran it, and so I came up with this.
Is this quick pitch?
No. He's going to either turn. He's going to turn and throw it. I'm going to take 2 sideways steps and turn and throw it, because after 2 sideways steps, the R is going to run as fast as he can to the sideline. So hopefully the throw is going to be out here, because he's going to get separation. So both of these 2 are taking the sideways step in tandem, 1-2, where they're I'm taking 1-2, quarterback's taking 1-2. After my second side step, I'm taking off. After the second side step, we're going to tell the quarterback, you're either going to tuck it and run it, or you're going to turn and throw it. Good, bad, or ugly. Nobody said go ahead and criticize me. Go ahead and criticize me.
I like it.
I'm going to say this is the RPO.
Now, the one question I had, Mike, and this is the thing I ran into with my last game of our season this year. Kind of they threw almost like a peel, like the defensive end peeling off, and then the linebacker peeling, kind of filling. So that near side, or that defensive end you're reading, anytime he saw the running back, flare out like that, or go up for our swing, he ran with him. But that middle linebacker, the Mike linebacker, would fill his spot, the defensive end.
Sure.
it kind of threw my quarterback off. You mean the one where he threw a couple of throws, and thank God, they were incomplete. He kind of force fed the running back.
On game planning, for week to week, if a team were to do that, then we could always, instead of do slip the old combo, we could tell him, hey, just go straight to the back. I mean, we could do that.
Well, we didn't know they were going to do that. That was something that on game day it showed up all of a sudden. You see him doing that, and so the way we countered that is we started throwing like a pre-snap motion at him, where we would show up like a 2x2, and also we'd motion to 3x1, and then run it to the opposite side.
We talked about push motion. We can put the guy over here and push motion guy. We can put him in jet motion and widen. Yeah. We can do some other things, but that's the premise of the play. Yeah, but you're exactly right. And that's a good idea.
My question would be if say for example that end ran with the R, right? And that Mike fills, right?
Right.
And the will kind of shifts over a little bit, I guess you would say, kind of shifts over to the middle of the field and kind of just acts as the Mike, whereas the Mike's going to actually technically turn into the defensive end, I guess you would say. What would be if the quarterback saw that, what would he do? Because he's watching the defensive end run with the running back, correct? And then all of a sudden he does, and then if he sees that, he's not going to throw the flare. He's going to run up and follow in with the block, right? That Mike kind of fills in. What's his read on that though? Or is he just kind of following in with that with the tackle?
It would just be like the quarterback read, I guess. We're always looking to cut backside. So if they were to do something like that, or they're going to do something like that, then we're always telling our guys to always cut backside. So they maybe could get us, but if we do that, and they don't fit really well, we maybe could bust it. But we wouldn't change anything. That's what we would tell them.
I'm curious because that just threw. I mean, granted, I wasn't prepared for it, so it kind of threw me for a little bit. It took that halftime adjustment to kind of figure it out a little bit.
But again, these aren't plays we're going to do a bunch, but these are plays you might do once a game, twice a game. That you could go really quick with. And I think that's the other thought is they're not going to know it's coming. Yeah, you're right. When he starts shuffling, then that guy might. And as much as we are flare, we have exactly what you're talking about. A lot of the ends do that, and they do feel. They do feel. And we would probably just single block that guy, and we would probably just have our tackle to go down on the Mike linebacker.
Gotcha,
Mike. My question is, man, so just looking at this, you might have said it and I might have missed it. Who exactly is your quarterback looking to throw the ball to?
The R.
So he's looking to throw the ball in the flats.
Yep. So he's going to take 2 steps, feet under shoulders, shoulders over the feet, and he's going to if the end attacks him or squats, he's going to turn and throw it.
All right, and if the end doesn't take him, he's going to run it.
Yeah, it's going to turn it into an outside read. We call that outside read. Quarterback run. The outside. To me, that's a form of an outside zone. We're just going to GT block it. Not good.
Now, essentially, that I like to blitz. So in this same scenario, what is your counter to if? Like I'm noticing the corners are pressed off. If I press my corners up, and so let's say we just exchange. I tell the safety, go ahead and forget the running for the wide receiver. Put the free safety over the top to take away deep, and let the middle linebacker take away whatever in case he flies out and goes.
Where's your free safety going to be?
I cheat him over to the Y. Cheat him over to the Y. The free safety have over the top and let the middle linebacker take away.
There?
If he comes over the middle.
Here?
And you just go cheat him over towards the Y. Right there.
Well, we're not going to take away everything. We're going to come over here and toast you. I mean,
I'm just speaking in general off of it. Like if
Yeah, I
you
know,
have
I
this
know.
call,
Yeah,
like
well,
if
we're
this is
outnumbered,
called,
though, bro. I mean, if that's that scenario, I mean, we're going to be outnumbered. I mean, yeah, that's not a good play. I mean, there's, you know, they're going to be there, and they're going to be there. That's not a good play. They got 1, 2. Excuse me. They're going to have 1, 2 and a half, 3 and a half, and we got 1, 2, half. We're outnumbered. I mean, that's just not.
See, one thing with that, you know, typical, you know, that with this play, Mike, you're doing something that typical shock offenses, you know, you see typically if the running back is aligned to the quarterback's right, typically if they're going to run the ball, they're running to the left, you know, so you're doing something out of the ordinary and you're shooting that, you know, so most defenses are going to see, okay, you know, running back's in line, he's going to be crossing the quarterback's face if he's getting a handoff. So, you know, 90% of the time, you know what I mean? So.
Correct. So, you know, your fit's going to be there, you know, something like that. Correct.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you know, throwing them off like that, having them shoot out like that, and then on top of that, making that defensive end choose. I mean, I kind of like it. Now, the only thing the question I would be is if your quarterback's not the greatest of a runner.
And that's why we're doing it, because both of those little guys are good runners.
That's okay.
That's the reason why we're doing that. Both those guys running, you know, called quarterback runs is going to, you know, that last year and this year is going to be part of what we do. So that kind of fits with who we are. Again, this is a complimentary thing, something we could teach easy, something we wouldn't have spent it'd take 5 minutes one time to install this. It doesn't take a lot, like I said, wouldn't take a lot of adjustments other than maybe the tackle week to week. Other than that, we could run it every game if we wanted to, once or twice. I don't see a lot of negative. You're right. We might get stopped, but I don't see a lot of negative yards. I don't see an interception. I don't see anything other than we might not get any yardage. And again, we haven't spent a lot of time on it, and it's just a complimentary play, but it could take advantage of something we do well, which is our flair, and our quarterback can run. And it's simple. It's, to me, fits who we are, what we do. Easy to teach. We teach the GT. All this is stuff we already do in the offense, and we could get into it really quick. Hopefully, before Randy saw what we do, by the time Randy gets signals into his free safeties, linebackers, hopefully we've already scored, because we're going to do this thing really quick. I mean, that would be, and I know, I mean, you're thinking, well, if I do this, what are you going to do? But if I can,
that's kind of like our answer statement before.
If I can get up there and call it really, really quick, it's going to put pressure on you regardless. So even if you get me, as long as it's not a loss, you know, that's something we're going to, in other words, this is one of these things of, hey, let's do a little something different here. See if we can catch them off guard. And what's going to be the downside? The downside is it might be 2nd and 10. That's kind of my thoughts. Anyway.
I'll tell you something as an idea, man. If you could run this enough and chew off a good amount of yards each time you run this as a running play, where you would have to force them to actually get their free safety in the box, put your best guy where A is, and let him burn that safety over the middle, that's almost a guaranteed touchdown every time.
Well, our best receiver, we put our best receiver at the A-back. Our A-back is if we go 2 backs in the backfield, our A-back is the other guy. So he is our best athlete. So anyway, that's just what.
Yeah, so if you start gashing them on something like this with 5 yards a pop, and you get that free safety down in the box where he's specifically focused on the run, and that's your best guy, and they ain't good in coverage, man, that's a 1-play touchdown every time, as long as you catch it.
Play number 2.
Mike, before you go on to that next play, just if you say your quarterback wasn't the swiftest of feet, I guess you would say,
I wouldn't.
What would be your backup play to that?
I wouldn't. Well, if I did, and 2 years ago, I had a quarterback that could throw it on a dime, and he could run a 6-second 40. I wouldn't do that. No. I mean, that wouldn't be part of the offense. No, I wouldn't do it. I think that's what makes this is your quarterback could possibly break it. So yeah, we have a running quarterback, so we take advantage of what we do well as R, but also our quarterback's going to be able to run. All right. All right, I'm gonna set the second play up. And this is why when I saw it, I thought we could do it. It's a little bit more complicated when you see the diagram. When you saw the diagram, it looked like a lot of shit on there. But when I saw it, I thought to myself, we can do this. And this is why. What you're looking at was our first game this year. Kind of like in Jason's, this was like 6 weeks after we first started practice, and we had multiple shutdowns, but so did everybody else. This was our first game. I believe like Jason, I believe this team had played, although they were shut down somewhere after they had actually played a game. It was a couple of weeks before, but this was our first game, and this was either, like Jason, for us, same thing, same scenario. This was either week 3 or week 4 of the season. This was our first game. All right. So this was like into the game, fourth quarter, and this is a play. So this is a play we score on it, but it looks bad, so you'll laugh at my coaching. But you'll see the similarity of why I picked this RPO play. All right, enough talking. This is the little quarterback this is a little 8th grade quarterback that I said I really liked. All right, go back. Let me set this up again. We did a show, and Randy was on it last year. My big thing last year was motion. That was my thing last year, and I asked the same thing as today. I asked Jason to set up something, asked Randy, because he was a defensive guy, I had some ideas about motion that I wanted to implement. Although we didn't do it in the spring, we did it in the summer. And I wanted to try to do it on a quick game, and I'd come up with some principles and ideas, and I wanted to run it by some guys. So this, ironically enough, our first touchdown of the season was off motion, and this guy was running what you guys would call a Y cross. Okay, we're in doubles. We're going to come across. Our back's in the wrong place. He runs the wrong route. Our back's supposed to be over here, so we've already effed this up. We've already messed this up. Okay, but he runs the Y cross, and we score on it. Blocking is terrible, but anyways, that sets everything up. So they're getting the signals. I changed it. He steps up in the pocket. There's quarterback drills, and that's the inside receiver that you just saw running the Y cross.
The deep cross.
Well, that's how we taught it. This is what we told him. Oh.
He's what you were outside the 20, right?
I'm fixing to see. We were right on the 20.
Right on the 20.
So
Okay.
when we said if you're around the 20 or inside, you're going to go to the back of the pylon. If you're anywhere else on the field, you're going to go to the front of the pylon. So we won't spend a lot of time on this play. Blocking's pitiful. Quarterback, hey, the pocket movement drill, he stepped up.
What is the guy in motion running?
He's supposed to run a dig, and the R was supposed to run a shoot over here, which would have been wide open. So we've already messed that up. Okay, on this we're running the verts. He's running the dig, Y cross. The outside receiver is supposed to be running down the landmark to the inside of him, which was going to be the hashes. The motion guy was going to go outside vert to the number. Okay. So this guy, so our receiver, actually this worked perfectly. You can see he's trying to go to the back pylon. So again, enough of that. Hopefully I don't cut everybody off when I do that.
But it looked like they're in a 5-2 type of setup.
They were not.
Everybody's
I believe they were in a 5-1, which surprised us.
The one question I had, Mike, and this is the thing I ran into with my last game of our season this year. Kind of they threw almost like a peel, like the defensive end peeling off, and then the linebacker peeling, kind of filling. So that near side or that defensive end you're reading. Anytime he saw the running back, flare out like that, or go up for our swing, he ran with him. But that middle linebacker, the Mike linebacker, would fill his spot, the defensive end.
Sure.
It kind of threw my quarterback off. You mean the one where he threw he a couple of throws, and thank God they were incomplete. He kind of force fed the running back.
On game planning, for week to week, if a team were to do that, then we could always, instead of do slip the old combo, we could tell him, hey, just go straight to the back. I mean, we could do that.
Well, we didn't know they were going to do that. That was something that on game day it showed up all of a sudden. You see him doing that, and so the way we countered that is we started throwing like a pre-snap motion at him, where we would show up like a 2x2, and also we motion to 3x1, and then run it to the opposite side. And
we talked about push motion. We can put the guy over here and push motion guy. We can put him in jet motion and widen. Yeah. We can do some other things, but that's the premise of the play. Yeah, but you're exactly right, and that's a good idea.
My question would be if say for example that end ran with the R, right? And that Mike fills, right?
Right.
And the will kind of shifts over a little bit, I guess you would say, kind of shifts over to the middle of the field and kind of just acts as the Mike, whereas the Mike's going to actually technically turn into the defensive end, I guess you would say. What would be if the quarterback saw that, what would he do? He's watching the defensive end run with the running back, correct? And then all of a sudden he does, and then if he sees that, he's not going to throw the flare. He's going to run up and follow in with the block, right? That Mike kind of fills in. What's his read on that though? Or is he just kind of following in with that with the tackle?
It would just be like the quarterback read, I guess. We're always looking to cut backside. So if they were to do something like that, or they're going to do something like that, then we're always telling our guys to always cut backside. So they maybe could get us, but if we do that, and they don't fit really well, we maybe could bust it. But we wouldn't change anything. We would. That's what we would tell them.
I'm curious because that just threw. I mean, granted, I wasn't prepared for it, so it kind of threw me for a little bit. It took that halftime adjustment to kind of figure it out a little bit.
But again, these aren't plays we're going to do but these are plays you might do once a game, twice a game. That you could go really quick with. And I think that's the other thought is they're not going to know it's coming. Yeah, you're right. When he starts shuffling, then that guy might. And as much as we are flare, we have exactly what you're talking about. A lot of the ends do that, and they do feel. They do feel, And we would probably just single block that guy, and we would probably just have our tackle to go down on the Mike linebacker.
Gotcha,
Mike. My question is, man, so just looking at this, you might have said it and I might have missed it. Who exactly is your quarterback looking to throw the ball to?
The R.
So he's looking to throw the ball in the flats.
Yep. So he's going to take 2 steps, feet under shoulders, shoulders over the feet, and he's going to if the end attacks him or squat, he's going to turn and throw it.
All right, and if the end doesn't take him, he's going to run it.
Yeah, it's going to turn into an outside read. We call that outside read. Quarterback run. The outside. To me, that's a form of an outside zone. We're just going to GT block it. Not good.
Now, essentially, that I like to blitz. So in this same scenario, what is your counter to if? Like I'm noticing the corners are pressed off. If I press my corners up, and so let's say we just exchange. I tell the safety, go ahead and forget the running for the wide receiver. Put the free safety over the top to take away deep, and let the middle linebacker take away whatever in case he flies out and goes.
Where's your free safety going to be?
Cheat him over to the Y. Cheat him over to the Y. The free safety have over the top and let the middle linebacker take away.
There?
If he comes over the middle.
Here?
And you just go cheat him over towards towards the Y. Right there.
Well, we're
Let
not
him take
going
away
to
everything.
we're gonna come we're gonna come over here and toast you. I mean, yeah, we're
I'm just speaking in general off of it. Like if
yeah, I
you
know,
have
I
this
know.
call,
Yeah,
like if
we're
this is
outnumbered though.
called and
Well, I mean, if that's that scenario, I mean, we're gonna be outnumbered. I mean, yeah, that's not a good play. I mean, there's they're gonna be there, and they're gonna be there. That's not a good play. They got 1, 2. Excuse me. They're gonna have 1, 2 and a half, 3 and a half, and we got 1, 2, half. We're outnumbered. I mean, that's just
See,
not.
one thing with that, typical, that with this play, Mike, you're doing something that typical shock offenses, you see typically if the running back is aligned to the quarterback's right, typically if they're going to run the ball, they're running to the left, so you're doing something out of the ordinary and you're shooting that, so most defenses are going to see, okay, running back's in line, he's going to be crossing the quarterback's face if he's getting a handoff. So, 90% of the time, you know what I mean? So,
Correct. So your fit's going to be there, something like that. Correct.
yeah.
So
I mean, throwing them off like that, having them shoot out like that, and then on top of that, making that defensive end choose. I mean, I kind of like it. Now, the only question I would be is if your quarterback's not the greatest of runner.
and that's why we're doing it, because both of those little guys are good runners.
That's okay.
That's
Yeah.
the reason why we're doing that. Both those guys run it. Called quarterback runs is going to, last year and this year is going to be part of what we do. So that kind of fits with who we are. Again, this is a complimentary thing, something we could teach easy, something we wouldn't have to spend it'd take 5 minutes one time to install this. It doesn't take like I said, wouldn't take a lot of adjustments other than maybe the tackle week to week. Other than that, we could run it every game if we wanted to, once or twice. I don't see a lot of negative. You're right. We might get stopped, but I don't see a lot of negative yards. I don't see an interception. I don't see anything other than we might not get any yardage. And again, we haven't spent a lot of time on it, and it's just a complimentary play, but it could take advantage of something we do well, which is the art flair, and our quarterback can run. And it's simple. It's, to me, fits who we are, what we do. Easy to teach. We teach the GT. All this is stuff we already do in the offense, and we could get into it really quick. Hopefully, before Randy saw what we do, by the time Randy gets signals into his free safeties, linebackers, hopefully we've already scored, because we're going to do this thing really quick. I mean, that would be, and I know, I mean, you're thinking, well, if you do this, if I do this, what are you going to do? But if I can
That's kind of like our answers thing before.
If I can get up there and call it really, really quick, it's going to put pressure on you regardless. So even if you get me, as long as it's not a loss, that's something we're going to, in other words, this is one of these things of, hey, let's do a little something different here. See if we can catch them off guard. And what's going to the downside? The downside is it might be 2nd and 10. That's kind of my thoughts. Anyway.
I'll tell you something as an idea, man. If you could run this enough and chew off a good amount of yards each time you run this as a running play, where you would have to force them to actually get their free safety in the box, put your best guy where A is, and let him burn that safety over the middle, that's almost a guaranteed touchdown every time.
Well, our best receiver, we put our best receiver at the A-back. Our A-back is if we go 2 backs in the backfield, our A-back is the other guy. So he is our best athlete. So anyway, that's just what.
So if you start gashing them on something like this with 5 yards a pop, and you get that free safety down in the box where he's specifically focused on the run, and that's your best guy, and they ain't good in coverage, man, that's a 1-play touchdown every time, as long as you catch it.
Play number 2.
Mike, before you go on to that next play, if you say your quarterback wasn't the swiftest of feet, I guess you would say,
I wouldn't.
What would be your backup play to that?
I wouldn't. Well, if I didn't, and 2 years ago, I had a quarterback that could throw it on a dime, and he could run a 6-second 40. I wouldn't do that. No. I mean, that wouldn't be part of the offense. No, I wouldn't do it. I mean, I think that's what makes this is your quarterback could possibly break it. So yeah, we have a running quarterback, so this takes advantage of what we do well as R, but also our quarterback's going to be able to run. All right.
Right.
All right. I'm gonna set the second play up. And this is why when I saw it, I thought we could do it. It's a little bit more complicated when you see the diagram. When you saw the diagram, it looked like a lot of shit on there. But when I saw it, I thought to myself, we can do this. And this is why. What you're looking at was our first game this year. Kind of like Jason said, this was like 6 weeks after we first started practice, and we had multiple shutdowns, but so did everybody else. This was our first game. I believe in like Jason. I believe this team had played, although they were shut down somewhere after they had actually played a game. It was a couple of weeks before, but this was our first game, and this was either, like Jason said, for us, same thing, same scenario. This was either week 3 or week 4 of the season. This was our first game. All right. So this was like into the game, fourth quarter. And this is a play. So this is a play we score on it, but it looks bad. So you'll laugh at my coaching. But you'll see the similarity of why I picked this RPO play. All right, enough talking. This is the little quarterback this is a little 8th grade quarterback that I said I really liked. All right, go back. Let me set this up again. We did a show, and Randy was on it last year. My big thing last year was motion. That was my thing last year, and I asked the same thing as today. I asked Jason to set up something, asked Randy, because he was a defensive guy, I had some ideas about motion that I wanted to implement. Although we didn't do it in the spring, we did it in the summer. And I wanted to try to do it on a quick game, and I'd come up with some principles and ideas, and I wanted to run it by some guys. So this, ironically enough, our first touchdown of the season was off motion, and this guy was running what you guys would call a Y cross. Okay, we're in doubles. We're going to come across. Our back's in the wrong place. He runs the wrong route. Our back's supposed to be over here, so we've already effed this up. We've already messed this up. Okay, but he runs the Y cross, and we score on it. Blocking is terrible, but anyways, then that sets everything up. So they're getting the signals. I changed it. He steps up in the pocket. There's quarterback drills, and that's the inside receiver that you just saw running the Y cross.
The deep cross.
Well, that's how we taught it. This is what we told him. Oh.
He's what you were outside the 20, right?
I'm fixing to see. We were right on the 20.
Right on the 20.
So
Okay.
when we said if you're around the 20 or inside, you're going to go to the back of the pylon. If you're anywhere else on the field, you're going to go to the front of the pylon. So we won't spend a lot of time on this play. Blocking's pitiful. Quarterback, hey, the pocket movement drill, he stepped up.
What is the guy in motion running?
He's supposed to run a dig, and the R was supposed to run a shoot over here, which would have been wide open. So we've already messed that up. Okay, on this we're running the verts. He's running the dig, Y cross. The outside receiver is supposed to be running down the landmark to the inside of him, which was going to be the hashes. The motion guy was going to go outside vert to the number. Okay. So our receiver, actually this worked perfectly. You can see he's trying to go to the back pylon. So again, enough of that. Hopefully I don't cut everybody off when I do that.
But a little right there in a 5-2 type of setup.
They were not.
Everybody's
I think they were in a 5-1, which surprised us. That was one thing people tried to do to us differently this year that they never did. I think it was actually 5-1. That other guy was the safety that had walked up because we went in motion in the red hat. That was the safety. he ran up when we went in motion. He didn't know what to do. So give me back to just play. See, I'm told you I'm not good at stuff. All right, so that's why when I saw this play, like I said, the very first touchdown we scored this year was on the Y-cross. So you see, Jason, what we did last year, it helped us.
Right.
The motion was alive and well. And the first score we had of our season when we finally got to it was off the motion. So there you can have credit, take credit for that.
Oh, well, I'm not, because it's motion. I mean, really, it's, like a motion like that, it's killer for middle school, because, I mean, you can do so many things with that, and
okay,
for a fact you're going to be capturing the eyes of at least 3 guys, and their eyes going to be the motion. They're going to be following that motion and worried about whatever. But I mean, for me, motion was huge this year for just changing formations and not allowing the defense to react to it. So in other words, like we would line up in doubles, like you say, shift to it early, shift to it late, and before they could even really get over, we're running a play, and they couldn't. And we already outflanked them to one side. It was for me, what I noticed especially when teaching motion, I said, okay, we start in this formation, but we're actually calling this play once we motion into this formation. So what is your responsibility? If we were just to call, like say for example, we called ace, and then we would say shift early stick. So we start ace. What is your job in the early stick? Oh, and they rattle off. Oh, I do this is this. Okay, all we're doing is adding emotion. All of a sudden, the light bulbs turned on, and from there, it was easy.
Right.
It was easy. It was such a huge weapon. It was so easy to teach.
And that's a credit to you. I mean, and that was why I wanted to do the show, because I had come up with some concept. That's the challenge of you don't want to. If we're going to do a play and I do motion out of it, like you said, I don't want it to be a brand new play that they have to relearn it.
Yeah.
You have to come up with some principles so it doesn't really change anything, so they can still process it again, because we're no huddle. You can't think about it. You got to know it, but it's got to be easy. So that was, I come up with some stuff over our 4 or 5 quick game things that we could run, all those things. And you helped me immensely with it. Randy was on their defensive point of view, and it worked for us. We could, like I said, we could.
Yeah.
Well, we actually did introduced it after I said I would not. I would only do it with the 8th grade. We actually did it with the 7th graders, and they caught on even quicker. So I'm excited about that for this year. So anyway, so you saw the Y cross play. So here it is. I stole this straight up from Sal's, again, from the man, the myth, the legend. But this is what we do. The first route we teach is the 5-yard stop. Y'all would call it the hitch. We call it the stop. 5-yard turnaround. That is the pre-snap read. Randy's gonna walk his corner up, even if he's gonna bail, like he says his corner's bail, but he's gonna walk up. Then pre-snap. Then pre-snap, I know we're not going there, but we're going to take a 1-step drop. He's going to do, for practical purposes, the Y cross. He's doing a 5-yard all stop, all hitch, and he turns around. If he sees the quarterback roll out, then he works out to the sideline, and he's doing his all vert, his more mandatory outside release route. We're big on big blocking. We're going to quick game, big on big blocking. So pre-snap, I know pre-snap, my read is to the X. Pre-snap, if he's 7 yards or more, and we like it, I'm going to take the 1-step drop. If that guy hangs right there, I'm probably not going to throw it. And I'm going to, after my 1-step drop, I'm going to reverse out. It turns into a rollout play. As soon as I roll out and reverse out, my back toward, that is the key. When I see the quarterback turning his back, I start to zig out, which hopefully would take his defender and open up the old Y cross. So the quarterback is told to reverse out and look for the landmark, look for the nearest landmark, which in this case would be the hash. The R again, like our other play, he's going to take 2 steps. they're liable to go, uh-oh, he's going to R flare, and he's not. He's gonna help block the number 1 defender, keeping his eyes on number 2 in case he were to rush. That is my unnamed, quick, one-word play that I'm going to work on in the spring. So break it down for me. Jason's looking at me like I am like, that is one crazy old guy.
No, I like it. My question is, with the pre-snap on the backside there, what is that distance? As far as where he's throwing that, is it 7 yards, or is it kind of like a Alaska thing?
You talking about
where
the
it's
route?
7 yards?
The route?
No, where that pre-snap throw, if he's throwing that, is it? How far does that corner have to be before he's not going to throw that ball?
Hey, the Alaska roll. The Alaska rules. If he's pre-snap 7 yards or off, we're there all the time.
Okay, so I must have missed that. I didn't hear that part of it.
Pre-snap automatic. He's taking the 1 step. Again, if pre-snap, if he knows he's going there, but he's taking the 1 step drop. It's not a no step throw. It's not a get it and throw it. If he decides that, he's still taking the 1 step in case that defender hangs. Even though I'm Y crossing, that defender hangs, then he's not going to throw it. That's why he's taking the 1 step, just to make sure. But he's looking there, and then after the 1 step, I go, nope, it's not clear. Then he's going to reverse out, and it turns into a rollout. We call that rodeo.
I like Y cross. I'm actually replacing Y cross with shallow, or not. Excuse me, replacing shallow with Y cross this year, because shallow just did not hit for us, and that's going to be my only drop back. The only thing we do differently is both our outside receivers. So your X and Z, both of them are doing verticals no matter what. The Y, I guess that we would do it as like a 2 to 3 step speed out. It would just be immediate speed out, and then obviously is that A? Yeah, it's A. Doing the cross, but we actually have our running back swing out opposite the cross. I've just never had any. I don't know how much luck you've had. I've never had much luck with quarterback sprint outs or rollouts. I have not had any luck with keeping the quarterback clean, I guess you would say. Just have not had any luck with it.
And again,
so
these 2 quarterbacks are kind of shifty, so let's get them out. And if it's clear, we'll say, hey, run it. So anyway.
Yeah. Do you run it the opposite direction?
Sure. Yeah, we can do it. No, I'm not going to roll out in middle school. I'm not going to roll out to the left on this.
Okay,
on a regular rollout, I would. See, on the way Sal's teaches is he's going to reverse. He's going to actually turn and reverse out. Okay? I'm not going to do that on the left. So, no, I would not run this play. We do have just hey, you get it and roll out. We do that to the right and left. But I'm not going to do this play. This play we would just do initially to the right. If we got good at it, I'm not at it. But
would you do it based on the throwing arm though of the quarterback? What if he's a lefty quarterback?
Then the lefty quarterback, yeah, we'd do it to the left on.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I've never had. I'm a lefty. I've never had a lefty quarterback in all my years.
See, I had one 2 years ago. Now I have one. And I'm a lefty too myself. So,
another reason why we like each other. We both lefties.
Yeah.
Coach, I saw a guy do this year. Instead of the R pinning the defensive end there, he ran like he was running 18 speed option and ran the same passing concept. So he read his A on the cross with the Y on the speed out and the R in your playbook running speed option.
Right. And a speed out is part of our quick game. We could change that into a speed out if we wanted to, because that we do that.
Right, but the toughest part was it wasn't the A on the cross, it was the Y and the Sam linebacker to decide, do I come get the speed option? Do I get the pitch man, or do I get that sail route?
I like that because that's putting that linebacker in conflict. I do like that. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I do too. I do too, but I want to make sure that guy gets blocked as well. But that could be a tag. That could be a tag. That's an easy tag. If we got good at that and that play worked, and that's the other thing. There are some tags, some easy tags you could do on that. If we started doing it, had some success, and some teams might not. There are a couple of tags you could swap with it. Yeah, you're right. So anyway, unless somebody says, Coach, that looks terrible, that is my second play that I'm going to try. I think since we do the stops, you know, we do speed outs, we want to do that, and you know, we do the Y cross as part of our motion series. I think this is something we can do, so I'm going to try to see if we could do it. And again, there's other sauce to that if we can get into it really quick, you know, and run. So
that's what, Mike, I like it, man. Only thing I can say is that if you get a stronger team and they can really get in your receiver's face and really get a jam on them off the line of scrimmage, is going to essentially just end up turning straight into a run. Because that him coming across the field, like, unless he got burners, it's going to take him a while to get over there.
Yeah.
If they're pressed up in his face and they're really, really getting hands and manhandling your receivers at the line.
If they're going to press up, we're probably not going to do that. We're just going to throw a vert. That's just what we do. If you're going to vert us, you're going to press us even. And if you saw in that 8th grade clip, the receiver, the X receiver was a good receiver, but my other receivers were three slow white guys, and we were not very fast this year, but we still ran the verts, and people tried to cover us up, and people did try to walk their corners up, and we still ran the verts, and I've got a bunch of clips where we, you know, scored, you know, quite a few touchdowns on that. But yeah, I mean, you're right. If they came up in that, we probably wouldn't call that. But that could be a problem. Absolutely.
Mike, are you going to keep this as a one formation call for these 3 plays?
For right now, until we get good at it. Yes.
So all 3 of these plays will run out of ace.
We'll be out of doubles. We'll be out of doubles. You know, we can call it really quick. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna, you know, if like I said, if something we got good, we could tag it, do something, you know, do some motion with it. But I think we just, you know, doubles, you know, that's our default anyway. You know, so if we want to go really, really tempo, we have to stay in doubles. So anyway, all right.
Give you an idea. One thing we did one year when we did this like this was to call the play. We called it off the yard marker. So if it was first down, we ran your first play. You had the second down. We ran your A cross or whatever you're calling that, and then now you got mesh. So that was maybe number 3. You know, just to
I
so
got
the kids
it.
all like the marker.
I got it. Oh, that's good. I like it.
And it was simple for them because all they had to do is look over and you told them, you know, you were calling, I don't know, you're in Carolina, right? You call this your Carolina package. Carolina 1, 2, and 3. They just know. Look at the yard marker. It tells them what the play is.
I like that.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
that's good.
And that's kind of what Kerry was doing. You got the smoke and mirrors, you know, and that was the other thing that started me on this was, you know, Kerry did something a month ago or so ago. It was awesome. I'm sorry he's not here this evening. And he showed some of his stuff he did last year. I think he showed some of his practice stuff. And he showed one thing that he started doing this year was really good to go tempo. And he kind of did a quarterback, you know, call it at the line thing, you know, where they did one thing on the left and there's something different on the right. And I really liked it. And he said, you know, we kept doing it and we could go do it really fast and we got really confident. And that's the other thing, you know, I was talking, you know, when Jason did his Y corner thing a couple of weeks ago, and I sent him some of our videos, which weren't really good, but and when I was sending Jason some of that, Jason, you know, got on to me about, well, why is your quarterback throwing that? Because the read is, you know, the underneath guy. And I'm like, you know what? I was the same way. But you know what? Our guys were just so confident in that. We threw a bunch of, you know, I sent him bunches of clips where we're throwing touchdowns. We just got confident. And that's the other thing. If your kids get really confident in it, like you're saying, with the yard markers, Carolina, you know, that's the other part of the secret sauce. If they think it's going to work, and you can go really fast. They have confidence in it. You know, that's the last thing that makes it a great play. It may not be a sophisticated X's and O's play, but if for some reason they think they're good at it, that's what makes it good. You know, of course, the reps and all that, and you know, help them to get it good. But
You know, we even brought the yard marker out at practice and put it out there.
so they can see it. I like that. I think that's great. I think that's a great way to do it.
And
Here's
it's simple.
and here's an old mesh. I mean, there's a million ways to run the mesh, but again, if we're going to do it quickly and in tempo, we need to do just kind of. And I saw this somewhere a week or so ago. And this is the other thing that I'm going to install for all the years we've done this stuff, and I hope we've done it pretty good. You see where my Y is? We've never had a tight end. We've never put him on the line of scrimmage ever in the million years I've been doing it. But I'm going to do it this year, so that's why we're going to put in the mesh. You see, I'm going to break down and put in a tight end on the line of scrimmage. So.
I'm gonna tell you what, man. We ran mesh this last season, and that versus us putting our guys in tight slots versus putting them in 2x2 worked a whole lot better.
They're gonna make that mesh much faster too. So I mean,
it was a whole.
Yeah,
and it worked that way better because like I've said before, we face a lot of teams. They're 6'2", like, and they're not changing. They're coming and they're screaming at you every play. So by going in that tight slot formation, they got into, like you said, the mesh a lot faster.
To my dismay, I am not good enough coach to teach the mesh, because now in 7-on-7, I can absolutely wear any of you guys out in mesh. But to make it work in a real game, I'm just not a very good coach, apparently, because I cannot make that shit work. So
I got in a play. I'm just like you, Mike. I got in a playbook, but I haven't had the balls to really install it or even call it. Really, I'm
just not good enough to make it work. But I'm
a lot of moving parts.
The tight end. Yeah, I'm like Randy. I've bunched it. I've stacked it. I can't get it to work. So I'm going to try to kill with the tight end in the spring and see.
That's how I would run it, Mike. It would be, if I was going to call in a game, it would be from some sort of condensed formation where I'm bringing the defense in, force them to cover inside and then having everything shoot outside a little bit. But even still, you run mesh from a condensed formation like that. That is a lot of traffic right there in the middle of the field. They got to get through.
It is. Don't know if it'll work. We're going to try to rep that. And those are the three things we're going to try to do in the spring. And the fourth one is, I didn't have time to get it together tonight. I have been looking at a bunch of Western Kentucky clips. I love their stuff. Now, I know Randy does some stack stuff on offense, and I have not liked it. No offense. I've not liked the stack ever. We don't do the stack. Never tried it, but I love the way Western Kentucky does this stack. They average 100 points a game this year, and they do a tempo screen and go stuff. I really don't know. I don't really know what they're doing, but I'm going to try some of that, which is similar also what Kerry was doing, out of his smoke play on, 3x1. He was running the screen to the left, and he was doing the slant to the right. I think that was his play. And he called it, or the quarterback. And then later he said they got so good, he just let the quarterback call it. I'm gonna go to the left, go to the right. He would go pre-snap, and they had a call for if they were going to go to the left, or call would go for the right. But again, they were able to go really, really quick. And I believe he said, we got where we do this 5 or 6 times, just the same thing, just straight down the field. I would just let the quarterback do it. We were able to get good at it. Kids get confident in it. We could do it really quick. Defense got on their heels, and then they call something else and score with it. So I'm looking at the Western Kentucky, stack stuff, really the screen and go, which we do. I sent Jason some clips of some stuff we do. I know that was the other thing we did out of the motion was our screen game, which I think we do pretty good, and teams know we do it. So we do the stutters and everything off that, like everybody else. It's nothing different than what anybody else does. but I'm going to do it out of stack. So that's the 4 things. I think that's the only 4 things we're going to do. We're going to do endo on our screen stuff and endo on our, normal stuff, quick game stuff, the other. But when we do team stuff, those are the only plays we're going to do for our 10 practices for offense for my 8th grade.
I tell you what, Mike, man, that the screen, and I don't know if any of you guys run fade out, or our number 1 and 2 plays also out. Like fade out was, I was kicking myself on the sidelines like, man, why the hell haven't I ran this before? Because it's the outs is just automatically open. You come out with 4 verts to set them up, get a long bomb or something, get down in a thing. Because what they essentially start doing when you stacking guys, they'll sit one guy on the inside, one guy on the outside. But essentially what they're expecting both of them to go deep. So they'll just start bailing out. And what I would have the guy do is trail the guy in front of him. So trail him like you're going to run 4 verts, but then once you hit that step, turn out and it can't cover it because the outside guy thinking you're going deep. So he didn't already bail. And it was very, like, Jason seen our screen, man. That was my actual favorite play of the year.
Steal it a little bit. I like that. It's a unique way of running that screen. I like it.
Yeah,
our screen is basically we take the front guy. It's like we call it basically opening a door. We take the front guy and we have him loop behind the back guy. So when he loops behind the back guy's coming full speed to lay the block, and the front guy's catching the screen. Scored a lot of touchdowns with it.
It's a motion that number 1 defender will never see, so it doesn't know how to react. You can tell on your clip that you show, Randy, that he doesn't know what to do because all of a sudden this kid, the kid that's right in front of him is looping around behind, almost like sort of like a tunnel screen, but just the motion that he does, it loops around from the outside to the inside. I'm gonna figure out a way to incorporate that somehow. I don't know necessarily with stack, but maybe with a bunch or something like that. But it's pretty nice. I like it.
Yeah, go on YouTube and look at the Western Kentucky screen and go game. And the thing about it is, they average 6 seconds. They can get into it so quick. And of course, that's the other thing. These plays I'm looking at, if we can't call it really quick and get up there, then that's not what I think we're looking for. For something we're looking for, a change up. We go fast normally, but I want to go something even faster. I don't want to slow it down. I want to go even faster. So it's got to be simple and something has enough of the concepts of where we're already doing it. Because again, this is something I don't want to have to, take any dedicated practice time once the season starts. I mean, it needs to be so simple. And that was the Sal's thing. It needs to be so simple. You don't spend any time on it, but you can, you may run it twice a game and hit it for 10 or 12 yards each time. It's one of those things you don't want to run a bunch, but when you do run it, it's effective. But to make it effective, you don't have to rep it 10 times in practice, to make it work. Then it doesn't really fit. Well, it might fit you. It doesn't fit us, I don't think. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Like I said, we do the spring game and do all sorts of all that. So I'm thinking, well, maybe we could just do it out of stack and just make some simple one-word calls out of it and go even faster. But their stuff, it's really good. But there was a video, the coach's caviar thing, and he must have had 30 minutes of their clips. And every time he had circled how much, because on the Western Kentucky stuff, you saw their plays, how much time it ran off the clock. I don't think there was a play there when they did that. They ran more than 6 seconds off. And I'm not saying we can run it in 6 seconds, but if we can run it pretty quick, then that just puts, again, like y'all said, so much pressure on the defense. If that's something you can do 2 or 3 times in a row and then go and do your normal stuff, I'm thinking, over time, that's going to be really effective. Anyway, that's all I got.
Well, that's good. That's good. I mean, for me, with the 4Bs, I'm definitely going to be doing that this year. You and I, Mike, talked about this through text about it already, and we'll probably touch on this more before the season, comes around. For me, it would for me with those 4 plays would still be plays that I would run consistent. That I run constantly, so I'm constantly repping them. But since we're already no huddle, how many middle school teams see a successful no huddle team, that already throws you off guard. But then once you're able to get that one word where you can just yell out that one word and get your guys to, hey, line up and let's go that much faster. Even running like, one of our best plays was stick. If we're able to go that much faster, line up and run stick without having to worry about looking at me for hand signals, then we can go. I mean, that right there is, we don't necessarily need to do it. I mean, we could run stick 40 times a game, but even if I'm running it that much faster, it's almost like it's just a whole nother play because they're not used to it seeing that fast. So I mean, for me, it would be things that I'd want to be. That I'd be constantly running.
That you're already doing pretty much. It's what you're saying.
But it just you go that much faster. It almost essentially turns into its own set of play because the defense they're not set, they're not ready for it. So a lot of times what you're going to be getting is an offsides penalty.
So nobody really does what you do in your area. Is everybody else kind of huddle up, or they just take their, or they?
No, but everybody's huddle. I was the only team that went no huddle. And see, even I can show you some clips that we were actually going slow. And actually, you probably seen some of my YouTube videos where the defense even lined up yet. They're not even. They're still moving around. We're running 4 verts. We're getting lined up. And we're running 4 verts, or we're running a screen. And I'm not even going super fast with it because I have signals where hey, let's speed it up. Let's go even faster. And it was the beginning of the game and they weren't ready for it. So those one-word plays is just going to make it that much faster. It almost turns into its own separate play for me. So again, like I said, for me, it would be more stuff that we're just typically doing already. So I just get more practice time on it. We're just going to go that much faster. Now we'll practice. Hey, we'll speed up and we'll go fast in practice, but for me, it'll still be just kind of the same plays.
Like your fourth down play is freeze.
Yeah, that's good.
The no play.
Run those 3 plays, and if you get to 4th down, you're freezing them.
And the old no play.
No play.
Yeah. When we started doing it, it was. See, we kind of did something similar to that. We just did a check with me, where he would be a freeze. It would essentially be a freeze, and he'd get because we'd go off a clap, and they would be so used to that clap, the defense was going anyways, but. I would just call a formation without any play, and they would already know that that's a check with me. So in other words, with the quarterback, he would start his cadence and set hit, and then he'd do that and look at me, and the receivers would get up out of their stance and look at me, and then I'd give a play. Yeah. But a lot of times we didn't do that. That is
a fantastic idea. We do have a no play, and we change our calls up so nobody on that. We do colors sometimes, and we do college teams sometimes. We'll change it up every couple of weeks. So we do that every week. We have a no play. That we do.
We went from no huddle. Our head coach wanted us to huddle this year just because of COVID, whatever other reasons.
Really?
So we huddled, but I still gave him the quarterback the wristband, and it had 4 or 5 different calls for freeze on the wristband. So if we called Alaska. I've got kids on the other sideline that I coach that are as players that are now coaching versus me, so I have to change my words up there once in a while. So I mean, my head coach, I could have coached. I've coached so long now, but those kids on the other sideline, they know what Alaska, they know what Antarctica is. They know what popsicle is.
Don't move. They're not gonna stop it. Don't move.
And you know what? And it was the first time that they don't jump. We turn around and we double freeze. But I just tell them to go up there, and I come up with another word for like lightning. It's like as soon as the official blows the whistle, snap the ball, let's go, because they're thinking, oh, we're going to freeze them again. Just little things like that. Just
give you an idea and pop a quick touchdown. Reverse it. You yelling out Alaska and stuff like that. You let them yell out, hey, they're not running the play, and they just standing there. And you snap the ball, gone, touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or we give them a funky formation there, like, Steve Spurrier and Mike Leach and those guys where they take the tackles out wide and put them out with the receivers.
Like a swinging gate type thing.
Yeah, we do swinging gate as soon as we score. That's what we we drum into them. My kids are like, I want to high five my buddy. I was like, you don't have time.
Y'all
I've
line
already got
up
the next
in
play
gate.
called for 2 points.
That's
That's
cool.
your swinging gate call.
That's good. We don't do that anymore, but we used to do that exact same thing, line up in the swing gate. We had 3 plays off that we drilled every week, and it didn't take very many time. What's y'all's line splits? I know we've taken a lot of time.
I'm sorry?
What are y'all's line splits? Jason, what's your line splits for offense?
Probably about 2 feet. About 2 feet, maybe a little bit less. About 2 feet.
Y'all about the same? Everybody the same? Randy the same? Everybody
Say,
what's your
Knuckle bump. Knuckle bump.
Oh, really? We're that wide?
You knuckle bump buddy beside you.
Okay.
So I guess it's probably about 2 feet.
Yeah, we do hand over hand. So you put your hand out and you put your hand. It's the same thing. So we're out pretty wide. Yeah, we're out.
Yeah, we're wide. Yeah, we're pretty wide.
Okay. All right. So
I try and do that because it seems like as the season goes on, they get a little bit closer, a little bit closer. You constantly have to remind them, wide now, wide now.